Okay. So everybody out here, what did you see? What did you like? What didn't you like?
I liked all of it.
Did you?
Except, these three were very pronounced. And instant as far as I could not hear you. And I couldn't hear your beat.
So Danny could have been louder at
Yeah,
times.
I mean, that was,
Good. Anything else?
You lost the eye contact, you lost that.
Eye contact.
You lost it, when you got the eye contact, then you started grooving.
That's a good criticism. When you guys were in eye contact, a lot was cooking. When you got out of eye contact with each other, it got spacier. And then when you got back in?
Yeah, you could definitely hear when you guys were in sync and in the groove.
Yeah.
It started to just flow.
At times it felt like they were pushing, and at other times it just flowed, right? It flows when you're looking and paying attention to each other and you're all focusing on the piece. It starts to float away or break apart when people are in their own mind. And I find that when people are in their own mind, they're always asking one question. Me, me, me. Well, it could be me and my taxes, me and my house vote, me and my lover, me and my whatever, but it's always me, me, me. Whenever you're on your own head, you're always asking this one question. It's all about me. That's what I've learned in doing this in the past. Anything else? More?
I liked how they had spaces in the rhythm so that everybody wasn't constantly playing all the time.
Yes, nice.
I like it nice and balanced.
What about orchestration? Did you hear any, when everyone started, they all just kept playing, didn't they?
Yeah, it took
Nobody dropped out during the piece.
What do you mean by orchestration, Mr.
That's what I mean by orchestration. By orchestration is you have 4 different timbres there, or 4 different instruments. At times what you'll do when you're writing a good orchestration is you only have 2 people playing against each other, and that will create a certain sound. And then what you do is you have one person drop out, let's say just the drum, and then Danny comes in with his tambourine. Now you got a tambourine and a drum. Now that's a different flavor, isn't it? And then Paul comes in with his guero. Now you got 3 instruments playing, and then what happens is, and she comes in with her
woodblock.
tappy sticks.
Clave.
Claves, thank you.
Question.
Jesus, you guys know it.
Do you know Michael Tilson Tompkins?
No, thank you. It's not relevant to what we're doing here. Focus on this. I will not answer questions that do not have anything to do with what we're doing here. I'm sorry. No, I don't mean any disrespect. It wastes my time. Okay, so what else was happening here that was good?
The creativity.
You know what I noticed? Did anyone take charge?
yes.
Yeah.
Ah, Paul took charge. Paul started, and they automatically sort of like, he decided they were getting soft, but they were a little bit gingery about when they should end. So at that point, what did Paul do? He looked at everybody, like, you know, I'm sitting in this chair. He took his instrument, he was playing his instrument back here, he stuck his instrument out there, and he took charge, and everybody went, oh, okay, boom. Beautiful ending. Beautiful ending. So kudos to you for giving it up to Paul, and kudos for Paul. Excellent, everybody. Thank you. Get back to your seat. 4 more volunteers. Now, based on all the criticism you just heard, we should do it right. One more person out there. There we go. All right. Same. We'll let Fred start it. You can just start with a simple beat and then go into your rhythm if you like. Now, remember, come into the piece and leave the piece. And come back into the piece. Get some dynamic range. Try for balance. Try for orchestration. Try to groove.
That was really good. How did you do that? Really?
I was going to say the same thing. It was like magic, wasn't it? Wow. That was like, that ending was amazing. That was that's what I call ESP.
Yeah.
Extra super peepers. You guys were doing a lot of iMessages, much more than the other groups, so yeah. Okay, first, you guys say nothing. Everybody else, what'd you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
Richard is in his element here.
Yeah.
You have thrown me off in the circle more times than I can remember. But you were on the whole damn time.
Yeah.
I come compliment you on that.
Yeah, good.
And you laid out.
Yes.
You made a different flavor.
Yes, that's one
Came
thing I
back
wanted to
in.
say about Richard. He laid out at one point
Yeah.
and came back in. He
Several
also did
times you
something.
laid out.
He also did another thing that the rest of you could have tried. He simplified.
Right.
He had a rhythm like he was going. Then he went.
That's a lot.
That's as much as getting. That's as good as getting out, and that helps support the group. Then when he got a new thought, he just came right back in. Excellent. Very. You know, I have to say, Richard doesn't have as much rhythm pizzazz as the rest of you, but he's thinking on a whole other level about the orchestration and doing things and stuff. And I'd like to see all of us do more of that. He's a constructionist. What else? Anything else?
Bear rocks. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Boy, he had some good cha-chas going there.
Yeah. It's hard to play. You know, that tends to be a mushy instrument. You really got some nice
Good touch.
touch with it.
From Puerto Rico.
I
What
think
about Barbara?
I think Barbara was struggling going in and out, but she held it in. I mean, she kept going.
Did you notice in the middle of the piece she tried to take control there for a while and
Is that
tried to
what's
get
going
it? Yeah, tried to get it to go louder. She was trying to do something with the volume, but what was happening, Barbara, is the other people didn't get their iMessages. Fred was looking at you, trying to figure out what we were doing, and Richard just decided, I'll hold my own here.
I close my eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So if she wants to take over, let her. And hey, look, in this society, if a woman gets a chance to take over, please, guys, okay, give it up. And get louder, and then, but there was that one point there when she tried to do that, when there was a little bit of confusion, but then you all rose to the challenge, and that right after that, the piece really started cooking again. Anything else?
I like, Barbara, you're doing, you and Fred have very similar instruments, semi-instruments, and you were doing a lot of, response. He was, holding the metronome.
Call and response, right,
And you
where
were
you're
responding
imitating
to
each
that,
other.
filling in the extra spots, and I thought that was cool. But, Fred, I think that you could maybe think about fluctuating in volume. Because it was, every time you struck it, it was always with a lot of power. And so
Yeah, but you were a solid beat, but
yeah.
you were looking for more speeding up and slowing down, more loud and soft, more emotional expression.
Should try and take it. I heard Jordan.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's get back into the circle, get our chairs out of the way, you can put your instruments just down. Come on in and join us. Anywhere you'd like to put it down, as long as somebody's not tripping over. We're going to get back into the circle here. And now we're going to do the vocal portion. Okay, we're not going to do any movement tonight. We've done plenty of that. Circle up. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to continue with this idea of a jam. But first, I'm going to say I'm going to hoot out a rhythm, and then I'm going to pass it to Richard. You hoot out the same thing and copying identically, and then you, and then you, and then you. Yes, identically. This is called imitation.